Welcome to the Debbion Newman Project. I'm your host, Debbion, but you could call me Deb.
Oh yes.
Yes. Let's sit down. You ready? Welcome to the
Awesome.
Debbion Newman Project, the Reggae Hub.
Thank you.
We're sponsored by
Yeah.
the Reggae Hub, and we're happy to have you today. So,
Thank you, Debbie.
I'm going to jump into something that happened years ago, which I believe would have been the first time where we worked together. I'd called you to dance in a music video, a cultural music video, and you were pregnant, right?
Oh yes.
Yes. But
Oh,
what
that's
you,
where I know you from.
yeah.
Okay.
So what you don't know is that behind the scenes, my peers, my coworkers had so much to say towards me because they disagreed with me. I received backlash because they said that I was wicked.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Pity them to know. So that was an amazing moment for me.
Uh-huh. So I felt after seeing how you performed and how you handled your body to make sure that you were okay and baby was okay, I felt good in myself to know that I maintained my stance and didn't allow what they had to say because they were all men. So they didn't understand at the time
Yeah.
that the female body, once you're pregnant, you know how to protect yourself and you know how to protect your little one.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think they would understand.
Right. But performing pregnant, was that the first time you was doing that or you did other jobs after that while pregnant?
That was the after that I did a music video, not a music video, a dance video, because I wanted to show my that I wasn't so limited when being pregnant. Some people have this misconception that when you're pregnant is like you're handicapped or something, but you're just as strong, maybe even twice as strong because you're
Strong.
bringing, yeah, because you're bringing another human inside of you, so your body changes. I wanted to show that change and to show them that that doesn't stop me from doing what I love. I'm more cautious, yes, and there are certain things that I cannot do because of the pregnancy, but it doesn't stop you.
Mhm.
So when doing that music video, that was the only music video that I did, and I did a dance video after that. Understand it, and it was nice. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed dancing with my baby. My baby enjoyed it because every time I move, he kicks. He was kicking, so I know he loved
Uh-huh.
it. He loved the music and the movement.
Right. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times the doctors will tell you the more active you are, the better it is for baby. But coming from a man, they will never understand and they will never know. Um,
No, and can I tell you that I had a quick delivery,
oh yeah?
and I yeah, quick delivery. And when I had baby and jump up and ready to go use the bathroom, like the other ladies look at me and say, "Miss, is you just have baby?" I'm like, "Yeah, the baby gone. I feel good." Like they were so shocked, and I think it's because I was saying physical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I respect women when they go through delivery so easily. Um, for the mere fact that I'm not built that way to be able to have a smooth delivery. I'm now a
Mm-hmm.
mom of three, and I've never had a natural birth.
Really?
Yes, never had a
Wow.
natural birth. Before finding out that I wouldn't be able to, what if I told you that I was thinking in my mind how to ask the doctor to give me a C-section?
Wow.
Yep. And I was 24
Mm-hmm.
and I said I am not doing it. I don't think I could do it. I'm not built for it. It looks so painful. So when the doctor came in and said, based on your test results, blah, 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 I have gestational diabetes. So he said, this is happening, that is happening. You won't be able to have a natural birth. Kimiko, hear me now.
Wow.
Thank God.
God.
Thank
Oh my
God.
God.
But I respect a woman
Wow.
who can do it. My sister she has 4 children. Smooth
Wow.
delivery. Nothing
All of
at all.
them.
She said a little bit of pain and I'm fine after that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
So much respect to all the women out there who is able to do it that way. But my avenue was always a C-section. Um, growing up in Jamaica, in our earlier days, we always hear um, our elders speak about the performing arts as if it is a less than, and spending their money to send their children to school to go dance up themselves or whatever is not worth it. Did you ever go through anything like that? And what do you think of those type of statements?
Definitely. I think all dancers go through it, especially coming out of a third world country like Jamaica. Yes, they basically put us the documentary that I did basically spoke about my life as a dancer in Jamaica. My mom was a part of it, and she did say that she was looking forward for me to be a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse. So just typical professions. So when I came to her and told her I want to dance, I want to go to Edna Money and study dance, she was like, "We going to get out of that." Why she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it. My artistic director at the time when I was in Ashe, because while I was going to Arden High, I would go to Ashe in the afternoons. She
Mm-hmm.
made me be a part of the dance troops. That's how my talent developed. So after graduating, I said I want to go study dance, and my director at the time, Mr. Robinson, I will never forget him, say, "You should go and study dance. You're a natural talent." You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Him say the resources and the technique to capitalize on your talent. And he persuaded my mom, along with my other auntie. She said, "Make the pitney go do what she want to do, man. You know, if she not like it or if it don't work out, she can always try something else." And
Right.
that's how my mom paid. Yeah, that's how my mom paid for the tuition and let me go do it. And from now till then, my mom is the proudest mom in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I believe
And
that. I believe that
society,
because I watched the documentary and I saw her like she was teary-eyed for most of the scene, just talking about how proud she is of you.
yeah, and even when I told her that I'm touring and teaching her, so they don't get the picture. Them still can't picture it. So, was it last year? Year before last, I brought her to. She's living in London. I brought her to Germany, where I had a big workshop of thousands of persons attended the workshop because it was like a week long festival, and I brought her there. And I said on the stage, "Everybody, look over here to my left. This is my mom. This is my mom from Jamaica. Everybody big up. So everybody scream for her and shout. And it's like tears come out her eye because she couldn't believe. So all these people came to my daughter's class. And when I was saying some soca, she get up and do it, used to dance back in the day. She get up and do a little waistline work and thing, and I could see that she was very happy and pleased. And when we're walking, everybody wanted to take picture with me and her, and so she used to say, "Our daughter, superstar." And so
Yeah.
those feel good. So you
Mm-hmm.
always have sometimes you don't listen to the people that are speaking or trying to put you down, but you try to prove it to them. You do what you
Mm-hmm.
can do and prove. Sometimes you have to prove them wrong.
You
You
know,
understand?
it's actually it's a good thing that you had someone to speak up for you. There's a lot of
Exactly,
people out there
yes.
that don't have anybody to speak up for them, so they end up not following their dreams because other
Right.
people have so much to say.
That's so true. That is so true.
Having traveled so much, would you consider yourself an official ambassador for Jamaica?
Definitely, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need nobody to tell me
Yeah.
because a lot of the places that I've been, I'm the first Jamaican to be there or the first Jamaican dancer to host a workshop there. a lot of the, so I can see that I've made groundbreaking movements. And dancehall is just like around roughly 7 years now that dancers can actually go on their own tour. Usually dancers, them used to go tour with artists. And
Artists,
them
right?
go right and them go as backup dancers and them get a little chum change. We are going on our own tour, so it's like we are the artists ourselves, right? And those are big moves. So it's very young, roughly 7 years now. Dancers are being able to go on to do their own tours, and I'll go places that some even artists, musicians have never
Never
been
been,
to.
right?
No, I've performed on big elaborate stages like Rotterdam Festival, which is the biggest festival in Spain. I'm the
Yeah.
first Jamaican, first and only Jamaican right now. Me and another dancer called Damian BG. We're the first and only Jamaican who have taught dancehall on that stage to whole crowd. And we perform with some of the Jamaican artists. Yes, we're the first that have ever done that. And I not only do workshops, I do panel discussions, I do lectures, I judge competitions, and I perform. So all around the bat, me I fly Jamaican flag high, and
Right,
I'm
right.
representing. Yeah, I'm not representing for myself. I'm representing for Jamaica. So when I finished speak, I remember I had the Minister of Commerce had like a function around 3 years ago, and I spoke on that function. And when I finished, everybody stand up and was standing ovation. I'm a
Innovation.
feel nervous. Yeah, I feel nervous because I'm not a public speaker. So and when I can
Yeah.
see the minister stand up and clap me and this man like, yo, you
Proud
know. So
moment.
yes, I feel very proud. And when the documentary came out, Minister Crawford came to me and said, well done, and pat me on the shoulder and I said, well done. I love that documentary. And I'm like, thank you. You know, so I don't need the government to give me a award to
Yeah.
say, yeah, country. I know within myself the impact that I've made, the positive impact that I've made, because yeah, you know, people have a lot of negativity to say about dancehall.
Yeah.
But I was able to put it in a way where people can appreciate it for what it is, even if they're not fully, you know,
Yeah.
support it, they can just appreciate it for what it is. So definitely.
Yeah, you said something that's very important. You said that you have been to places that some dancehall artists or a lot of dancehall artists has not been as yet. Do you believe that some of these places that you've been is you bring the muse a certain song over there and bust that song?
Yeah, because yes, they don't know the song. Some of them don't know the songs. They ask, some of them ask for my playlist. There's like, I remember when I traveled and I used Razor B at the time. He did a song for me, Stop Watch the Poems.
Yeah.
And everywhere I go, I tour, I'm bring it with me because it's my dance and it's Razor B singing. And because of that, person started knowing more about Razor B.
Uh-huh.
Because Razor B was just came on the scene one day. So when we played, I'm like, who is that? Who's that? As my Razor B, I didn't know him, and then enough people just start, go over to. So yeah, each one help one. So the artists them have to respect the dancers too, because all right, for instance, example in this pandemic, the artists don't have a lot of places to perform anymore. So what you think them use to push out their songs? The dancers to do that,
Dancers.
to do promo videos on their songs, so they can have a lot of visuals going and things. So yeah, man, each one help one for sure.
Yeah, me love the little dance
For
there.
sure. The what you
Yeah,
yeah.
I love the documentary. I've seen the documentary, but before we go into that, because I feel like that was a major highlight. But
Yeah,
just before we jump into that piece,
yeah.
where have you been so far? Just to name some of the countries.
Wow. Let me start off with Europe. I've been to Germany. And when I've been to one country, sometimes I've been to like 5 cities or more. You understand? So Germany, I've been to Switzerland, Italy, Spain, France, Russia. I've been to 21 cities in Russia. including
Wow.
Siberia, which was negative 41 degrees at the time. Oh God, I
Mhm.
can never forget that experience. Russia, out of every place, Russia. I've been to Asia, in Taiwan, China, Japan, um, some places in China, I can't remember the name, like Guangzhou, Wuhan, where the virus started. I've
Yeah.
been there.
Uh-huh.
Australia, Melbourne. I've been to a lot of places in North America, a lot of places in South America, Colombia, Chile, um, Peru, Argentina, New, oh God, so much
Too
places.
much,
There's
yeah, too
some
many
of
to
the places that
remember.
I've been, that persons that Jamaica never been, was the Ventura, which is one of the Canary Islands of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
That was a nice experience. Ventura. Wow, yeah, but tonight the only continent I haven't touched yet is Africa, but I'm calling
Mm-hmm.
it into being. It will come.
Yeah, put
Yeah,
it, calling into being.
yeah.
When you're in these places, what is the language barrier like? Do they actually understand what you're saying, or they're mainly just feeling the beat and watching?
Yes, they understand. Usually the promoters that book us, they usually can speak English, or if they
Mm-hmm.
don't, they have someone with them that can speak fluent English with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really have a problem. And then when I just show up in our country, I always get to try to learn some basic language, like hello, how are you, good morning, and to code 5, 6, 7, 8. So when I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
my class, I would say it in Russian, say спасибо, and then I don't remember how much is how to count, but I will count in their language, and they like that because they can see that we are interested in their culture as well. You know, we want to learn from them as well, and they're
Mm-hmm.
intrigued by that. Yeah. So the barrier is not a is I mean the barrier is not
It's not that
so
there's not a
yeah,
major gap. The
no,
communication is
no,
still there.
there, right, because they always have
Mm-hmm.
a translator and yeah, so forth.
All right. Couple of years ago, I don't remember how long ago, but you had made a post, and that post was mainly about culture vultures. What does that
Oh,
mean
God.
in this particular era? What does that mean?
All right, it means like if persons are taking our intellectual property and basically copying us and make a
Mm-hmm.
profit off of it without supporting us. So they, for instance, you have students that will come and do like a one class with me. And that one class they go back and start teach all the move that I teach them and make money from it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Bear in mind when you're learning something for the first time, you have to keep going back and building, right? If you're learning ballet, you cannot just become a ballet teacher after one class, right? So that's what we call culture vulture. It's like they want to take your material and go somewhere else and use it and benefit from it.
Mm-hmm. So is it
Basically,
that
yeah.
they're already instructors wherever they're coming from? So then they come to you or other dancers, take the material and bring it back to wherever they're coming from.
Sometimes they have the work dancing. Sometimes they're not dancing instructors. Sometimes they are, but you have others that are not dance instructors. But what all of them will do is like come and take a one class with you and go back. And the ones that are instructors, they will teach the movements and make a money from it. And then they weren't even giving us like any rights. They weren't saying created by Kimiko Versatile. Go
Mm-hmm.
support her. She's the main source. So if you have a chance of being to Jamaica, go support her. They weren't giving back to where they're getting their information from. They just
Mm-hmm.
take and run with it, take and run and take and run and make a you know. So that's
Yeah.
why they start copyrighting music because people can listen to music and use it all the time, and the artists them now make no money from it. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
in this case, it's the same thing with the dancing. It is our intellectual property. So you can come do a one class with me and expect to go teach it. Then you're hitting food out of my mouth because if you the person that really wants to learn a Kimiko versatile movement should come to me, should be able to come to me and learn from me. I gain the profit from my work. instead of you coming to me, and take my material and go back and teach all of your students and not giving them the source of where the movement is coming from and the history and so forth. So that's what we call culture vulture. They basically
Mm-hmm.
want to take the movement and run with it and like say, oh, I have this, or they're not giving back to what is rightfully ours, or they're not helping, they don't care. They just
Mm-hmm.
want to make a hype from it then.
Have you ever had a conversation with any of these people? Because I know some of them you will know personally and you see them on social media and see what they're doing. At the time when you made the statement, there was one person who came to my mind. Have you ever had a discussion with any of these people? Like, if you're going to take the material, at least say where the material is coming from. So then you
Yes,
also direct traffic back to the originator.
right, yes. After that outburst, person started buckling up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have a talk out sometimes for them understand. But after that, yes, person started buckling up. I've had panel discussions in Germany where the sponsored by the tourism board. And I spoke about it intelligently, talking about how they can contribute back to the industry without us feeling ripped off. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, and then I realized that things has been changing. Whereas if they're doing a movement, if they're doing a choreography with their movements in it, they will say inspired by movements inspired by, and they tag the dancers. That's one of the things. They
Mm-hmm.
start tagging the dancers in their videos, and then now when I go to like we call it festivals, and there are other dancers that are teaching in the same festival that I'm teaching, I see that they link the source, they link them back to the source now. But before it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like that. But I am seeing a change. So if one of the foreign girls is doing one of the Jamaican movements, they would say, "Oh, this was curated by Katie. Please go follow her on Instagram to see more work from her. If she has classes that are available. If you go to Jamaica, do these classes with them." So
Mm-hmm.
persons are starting to understand, because I guess some of them never really even understand what they were doing to. So I understand that. So when we explain to them now, they're like, "Oh, you're right." And then they still have some stubborn ones who really don't care. But I
Right.
can see, and now with the pandemic, what has also changed is that because other dancers has been talking up to, and we have been doing interviews with the foreigners, because they say they want to do an interview with us, and they bring the students on, and the
Mm-hmm.
students, they ask us questions, and the students get to understand more. And we realize what a lot of them start doing now is when they teach abroad, and they teach with, like, say they teach with my movement, they will give me a percentage of their earning from that
Oh,
class.
wow.
Yes.
What a
So if they teach,
move.
yes,
Yeah.
but we had to fight for that. We had to speak up and fight for that. And then they realized that, okay, we can give more. We can help more. If we love dancehall so much, we're supposed to can help as much as
Mm-hmm.
we can, because they're still taking our information. So like a numerous times person contact me and say, "Oh, Kimiko, I taught a class today and I taught 5 of your steps, or this class was all of your steps. So I'm giving you like maybe 10 or 20% of my earnings from the class." And I really appreciate it. Sometimes it's not much, but I
Yeah.
still appreciate it. It's just the respect. We wanted the
Respect,
respect. And
right.
as dancers in Jamaica, we don't have a lot of respect from our own
Mm-hmm.
people. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was something that we had to fight and speak out on.
What about Joanne Enough? Does she give credit where credit is due?
Not for me. I've had a bad experience with her. So from that experience, I'm not into her so
Mm-hmm.
much. I think she show her true colors. So I don't participate with her. I remember
Okay.
when she brought her students to Jamaica, and the students were doing my class, and she sit and watch. She was complaining about her leg. So she have an injury in her leg. And the same night, Joanna was in the party carrying on and jump and spit on them. So I say, "Are you something wrong with your leg?" Okay. Anyway, a couple weeks after, when they went back, I saw she teaching my the
Right.
movement that she
Right.
taught her students.
Mm-hmm.
Someone message her, private message her, and say, "How come you're teaching my movement when you sit down the entire time watching my class. You didn't take you didn't partake in my class. So who gives you the right to be teaching my movement a couple of weeks after you come back from Jamaica? She was like, oh, it's support. At least I brought my students and whatever. I'm saying, don't matter, your students took the class, you didn't. And you had to complain about this and that. So why are you teaching my movements? Don't teach it. I didn't teach
Mm-hmm.
it to you. You're not teaching it properly. I had a big problem with that. So because of that, me and her had a fallout and whatever. But sometimes when you talk the truth and talk up, people don't like it. So them gonna talk all negative. But I stand my ground.
Right.
I stand my ground because I know what she did wasn't right. Anyway,
Right.
we met in Russia and she came to me crying and said she'll support me and whatever. And we made it up. But at the same time, I don't like to play hypocrite and I don't when I see that persons are not for something the right way in the from the goodness out of them heart, I don't mingle with them.
Mm-hmm. But
So
after this,
yeah.
after making up and she did what she did she move on from there teaching your move still, but then giving credit, or there was
Well,
nothing?
I don't she should teach my moves anymore and things. So if she give credit, it will be to other dancers.
Others. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can still feel a tension there, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't keep nothing in my heart. I just know that I have to speak for my right and
Right. I mean, you know
yeah,
your value, you know your worth, and you know what you're
yeah,
working for. So instead of staying silent, say what you have to say and get it over with. But
yeah.
on a more lighter note though, we have a lot of Jamaican female dancers. Once upon a time, it was mainly about the man, them and the whole heap of man moves and stuff like that. How do you feel like you have impacted the female dancers to get more out there?
Um, Let me tell you, you see, I feel like first of all, I create a female group which is called Versatile Ones, and it's because one reason why I create is because the dancer space is so dominated by males.
Men, right?
And two, why I said versatile ones is because I want to show our versatility as females. The females used to tend to broke out a lot, dash out, whatever you want to call it. And I really wanted to show that we females in the dance industry is not all about that. In the dance
Yeah.
industry, we can do man moves too. We can do a female steps where we do not just wind up yourself and gyrate and twerk, but actually doing movements with her body.
Mm-hmm.
So I at the time when I graduated from Edna Manley, I was with Dance Jamaica, Latanya, and Latanya made lot of female moves. And that inspired me to make female
Latanya
movement too.
Styles.
Latanya styles, yes.
Okay.
That inspired me to create female movements as well because I wasn't a twerky broke out person. I love
Mm-hmm.
dance, I love do. So I show my group a way where they can mix the dancer queen style with the female movement now to be more versatile. You understand? And to be seen more seriously. So I know that I had an impact like that where I show that females, man, wanna do some movement, man. We not have to always skin out and broke out and dash out. You
Yeah.
understand? So after that, now I realized more females started creating female moves.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't only about remember back in the day, like even in the old school, it had like one and two movement like bogle and
Mm-hmm.
butterfly. And then in the middle school now you have like dirty wine and
Yeah.
catwalk, but they were still that short stuff. In the
Mm-hmm.
new school now we have more moves. Watch your poem, sexy plus tax, cut and clear. And these are movements that females can actually do and feel powerful. My movements, I make them in such a way where the female then feel good and powerful and at the
Mm-hmm.
same time sexy. So I brought that, I think I helped brought that change to how female dancers will dance in a dancehall space, other than just looking like a sex icon, like a sex
Right.
tool. I never feel good when me a dance and the man come behind and a dagger every time. I say I feel like a sex tool. So you know what start do? when the man them come and a dog and thing and we want dance, we just lift them up.
Yeah.
We just lift them up and throw them on the ground and say,
Uh-huh.
you're not gonna see how it feel.
Right. Listen, because when Daggering came in, that's when the man them really jump into it and sometimes just get out of place because them well want to
Yes,
Dagger.
we spend enough time whining, we don't want a man now, we want space. When you
Right.
dance now start here at RDX, a girl time, but the man them want to get involved with the girl. So them come Dagger. We say, all right, you know what we're gonna do? Let's lift one up and thing and run and jump on them like we are Dagger them.
So hold on, Lid, that was actually a planned thing to start doing that?
It was like it wasn't a planting, but it was the frustration of females not being
Yes.
able to dance by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
So you
was
just
out of
flip
that.
the script.
Kind of flip the script. You ever see some of the girl them jump on them and hold them and just start box them?
Yes.
It's basically showing like the role can change. Like, like
Mm-hmm.
it's not all the time we want man say come Dagger or whatever. We want dance too, make we dance in our space too. When a
Right.
girl time, when so we wanted that. So those were things that the female would have done just to show say, come Dagger me and go on like say,
Right. And put you down. You can put them down too.
Right. So with them the like that no when them kind of ease when a girl time them give us space make we take the ring.
Man.
So
See, so that's how it's supposed to happen.
yeah.
What are some of the moves that you have created?
The popular one is Watch the Poems, Razor B song about that. I have Knock It Up, Cut and Clear. Now everybody's doing sexy plus tax. Every routine when I see it having the sexy plus tax movement in there. People love that so much. Sexy plus tax. Chaw, Jafrican wine. I'm not gonna remember all of them.
Too many to remember.
But I think I have over 30 movements and still creating. No, I'm not feeling so motivated to create anything right now because there's no dancehall going on.
Yeah.
When the environment dancehall was a space where not we will also create in that space, get influenced by the music and get inspiration. That was really my training ground and where I get inspired. So I don't feel inspired anymore at all, to tell the truth.
But even though everybody's inside and dancehall not keeping more and so or at all, you still find yourself in an earning position, right? Because you're still doing classes online. How has that been for you?
Good and bad. The positivity out of it is that because we were already on social media, even before the pandemic, it wasn't such a hard transition for people to know us online because they have already know us on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. So when the first time when the pandemic hit and the place locked down, I did a free class for the whole world. And that day, I think 1,000-odd persons tuned into the free class from all over the world. And they were just so happy. And, like them, I said, oh my God, thank you so much for your energy, Kimiko. Even if they were in a cold place, they could still feel that energy and they were sweating. Anytime I teach class, them have sweating out. So them just, the energy just feel good with them and they thank me so much. So after that, I said, all right, let me just start doing some paid online classes. And I start doing it. But I don't enjoy it because I'm not feeling their energy. When you dance, you usually touch them, usually fix them, usually get the vibe from them. And I'm not feeling that when I'm teaching me alone in the room, I feel like me I'm mad. Like it doesn't feel the same. And that's what I don't like. So what I do, I don't teach all the time online. I cut it down to at least maybe twice a month.
Uh-huh.
And I have a studio, Versatile Studio, which is located on Lady Musgrave Road. My studio is not making any money at all because my clients were mostly foreigners. So now you
Mm-hmm.
see that tourism
Can't
kind of gets a
travel.
bit right. So not making any money at all. So what I did is do a GoFundMe, and I could raise $2,000 within 2 weeks. That's I used to help fund the studio in the meantime, like paying for the rent and
The
the internet
bills.
and so right. Because when I do my online class, I still use the studio. My group still uses studio. We have training. Sometimes we have music videos come up and I have to choreograph and we use the studio space to do that. So I still need the studio space, but I'm not making enough money to sustain it. So
Yeah.
that's the issue right now, right? But apart from that, the pandemic pushed me to start capitalizing on my other talents because I do locks and I do
Mm-hmm.
makeup application and I love like the spa industry. I love facial waxing, massaging. I love that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna venture off in that field now, the beauty
Creative
part
industry.
because yes,
Mm-hmm.
in the future I would love to have a spa along with the dance studio. It'll be like a
A wellness
wellness day.
center.
Right. You
Yes.
understand?
Mm-hmm.
Beauty, fitness, and so
Yeah.
forth.
A
So
holistic
that
situation.
yes, I would love that. So it give me when I start looking at it in a positive way, it give me the time now to start working more on that aspect.
Mm-hmm. Is your
Yes.
GoFundMe still up?
It's finished. I only did it
Mm-hmm.
for 2,000. That covers 6 months of the rent. So
Mm-hmm.
that should be finished in June. Is June? Yes. So if I see that the students still not going good, I'm gonna do another GoFundMe because I'm not gonna stress myself, and I really don't want to close the studio. I mean, I'll
Right.
be so heartbroken. It was one of my dreams to have my own dance studio, and I see where it helped contribute back to Jamaican entertainment industry. More tourists are coming to Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, more tourists used to come from the north coast and the south
Yeah.
coast. More
Right.
tourists coming into Kingston to be a part of the dancehall industry. They go to the museums up there. Them not the dancehall. Them support the style people. Them who are
Right.
outside of the dance. The support goes
Mm-hmm.
all around the industry. So I don't want to close it. I don't want it to be a first option where I close the studio because I know when things kind of get back to normal and persons start coming back into the country, I know it will be good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to close it. I'm really
Well,
fighting.
should you do it again, make sure that you send us the link so we can do our part for sure.
Sure.
Because anything you're doing, we want to be able to support.
Thank
Let's
you.
go into your Netflix debut, which was major in my eyes.
Yes.
I I'm gonna remind you of something else too. Let's see if you remember. Years ago, I was watching the BET Awards and I sent you a text and I said, Kimiko, one day this is going to be you. That's
Oh
what I
my
said to you.
God.
And then when I watched the Netflix series, I said to me, this is probably even bigger than just
Big.
the BET stage, you know? So how did that come about for you?
Wow. I mean, it's God's choice, because never expect it at all. Let me tell you, you see, when you put in the good work and you
Mm-hmm.
always do what you love to the best of your ability, you will never know who is watching. Never know. And that's what I always try to do my best in anything that I'm doing, even if it's a little job downtown, dancing job in downtown. But just always try to give my all because I love it. And I know when you put your 100% in what you're doing, you shall achieve more. Things will come
Yeah.
your way. I always believe that. I know, say it was this director from Edna Manley. He director for drama. He doesn't have nothing to do with dance. He loves the way I perform when he sees me dancing. And these men from France, the director, they contacted him and said they were coming to Jamaica to source a dancer for the idea for the documentary that they want to create. And I was the first person that came to his mind. This is years after leaving Edna Manning. I left Edna
Yeah.
Manning in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And he said I was the first female dancer that came to his mind, right? So he told them about me. However, they wanted to see other Jamaican female dancers to, I guess, to pick and choose. So they did an interview with me. They did an interview with other dancers. I don't know how much of them specifically. But they did an interview with them, and I brought them to do an interview with dancer Carly, because although they did an interview to me for me too, I said, "Yo, anybody have the opportunity?" And I told them about. They asked me like, "What? Some major female in the dancehall industry as
Mm-hmm.
dancing?" And I said, "Dancehall Carly, of course. You know, she's the first dancehall queen."
Queen.
And then I also suggested Spice dancers at the time, Rebel TC thing, but they didn't take it serious to come to the interview. They didn't show up.
Oh
So
wow.
after all of that, they went back to they had a thorough interview with us, asking me specifically about my life as a dancer in Jamaica. It's like they want to get a feel of what we have done, what we
Yes.
have accomplished in our dancing so far. And they called me and they tell me that they choose me. They choose me
Yeah.
I would be perfect for what they want to do. Bear in mind, I didn't know exactly what they want to know. They wanted to do a documentary on dancehall, but when they went in depth and tell me that they want to do it from a female perspective, I was like, wow, this has never been
Mm-hmm.
done, because all the documentaries that you see about dancehall or Jamaican culture, always the man them attack. Most time
Right.
of the man them attacking, you see the male dominated space, but for them to be coming now from a female perspective, that's like a different road they take, and I'm like, wow, when they told me, I'm like, okay, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a good feeling.
How was that experience for you? How long did it take? Because we saw that you and the other girls had to be preparing for this big clash
Yeah,
with the guys.
yeah. So it took a roughly 1.5 week
Mm-hmm.
to shoot everything. They basically followed me around for 1.5 week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the thing is that I first of all they said don't act.
Be
They said they just
yourself.
want everything natural. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we just do it natural. I was so happy that I could incorporate my group in it, female group, because it connects to what they want to portray in the
Mm-hmm.
dance, and that's one of the reasons why I created the female group, so we can show our versatility and show that we can do just as good as the male. So all of
Right.
that connected, and it was like, it just felt like it was meant to be, because
Right.
the thing is connecting so well. I was like, wow, this feel like it was supposed to happen. Everything
Mm-hmm.
just fall into place, even with my son. My mom live in London and she was here in time for when they were so I was like, wow, Jesus take the wheel. You know
Oh
what I mean?
gosh.
I was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, Jesus take the wheel. Like everything fall into place in what could have made the documentary successful.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is that I incorporate one of my teacher, Lantoinette Steins.
Yeah,
She's
I
like,
saw that.
and Miss Steins, they wanted to speak with someone that trained me as a dancer, and I'm like, Lantoinette Steins, perfect, because Miss Steins is not only involved in theatrical dance, she is what should I say? She is vibrant in the dancehall industry too. She choreograph, she go dancehall too now and again. She knows
Yeah.
it, she knows history. So I'm like, oh my God, Miss Steins, Anthony Steins is perfect. And when they met Miss Steins and went to her, like, oh my God, Kimiko, where did you find this lady? I said, I told you guys. When
Yeah.
we were preparing for the battle, I don't think the men took it serious. They asked which male group I would recommend to them to be a part of the documentary. I told them Supreme Basers. I mean, there are other males dancers that I could use, but I chose Supreme Basers at the time, and they interviewed them and they say yes. I don't think they took it so serious because they could have done much better. They didn't come, but they never come for back. Them
Well,
think it was a joke.
well, listen now. They thought it was a joke, but
Yes.
then when they saw themselves on the big screen, I'm sure they said to themselves, we will never let this happen to us again,
Yeah.
because the woman them beat them bad on
Bad.
international television. When my
Bad.
husband and I, we were watching it, and me I said, them no know what just hit them. It's like they wasn't ready. They probably were saying it to themselves that we can't take this. We can't beat the
Yeah,
girl them.
exactly. They thought we're gonna come and shake up our bottom and then something. Then, no, we're not come
Right.
shake up our bottom in a no battle. You
Right.
mad? Yeah, man, we
Listen,
brought
that
we
was
were
really fun to
serious.
watch.
Yes, we were serious, but I think they were joking around. They didn't take it serious, I guess, because we're females. So we show them, say, yeah, you see? So I enough to take it lightly.
Listen, and the camera
And
catch all of their expressions afterwards. You could see that they were hurt.
they were hurt because even me and they were vexing me too, in real life.
But they
But I
can't be, because you gave them a major opportunity and they played with it.
yes, they play with it exactly. So I spoke to them and said, "Don't worry, guys. Just no say anything like this to come up. You take it serious because I don't think they think it would have been so. You see, the production it beat my expectation too. The whole production of documentary beat my expectation. So when they started, like, whoa, what's so good it was gonna be. It's like a movie. So it
Yes.
beat everybody's expectation, but they could have been more serious with it. So we spoke and them all right, and them say, yo, Kimiko, thank you same way. They still feel good that they could represent their team, and the whole whatever the directors wanted from that documentary, they got it. It was brought forward. Yeah.
Wow.
And I feel so good because I was the only female to represent in that whole series, because it's like a 5 episode. Five.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so I felt really good representing for a woman. I got a lot of feedbacks from women saying that they feel powerful. They get to understand it a little more from a female perspective. A lot of people in Brazil say, "Wow, dancehall is so similar to Brazil dance or Brazil culture." I didn't even know that.
Right.
So yeah, I got a lot of positive feedbacks, especially from the females and males too. They really I feel really good about it.
Well, Kim, it's obvious. You're out there, you're doing your thing, you're making an impact, a positive impact. But there is a little girl somewhere in the world sitting, or a bubble in the living room, and their parents just saying, come on, go sit down. You're winding up yourself too much. You're not gonna become nothing. What would
Oh
you say
God.
to that little girl?
What would I say to the parents? I would say, parents, you need to stop it. You see, watch your children growing up and let them be anybody they want to be. Meaning, let them explore, let them find themselves. They say they love sing, help enhance their natural talent. If you see that your son or your daughter can sing, bring them go do singing class. You know what I mean? Help capitalize on what you see that they have the potential for. If them can do football and things, don't stop. Get out of this mindset that, oh, I want them to be doctor,
Doctor,
lawyer,
lawyer, right?
traditional things. Yes, because anybody can gain. We can gain from a career like this. Once you put in the work, you sow the seed, you're gonna reap the reward, right? Listen, I remember, look, if you think of a 9 to 5, I just giving an example. When I have a good class, I had a class last week. When I had a good class, I had 42 students. 42 students paid €20 each.
Mm.
20, 42 times 20, you do the maths. You understand? I gain $100,000 for 1 hour doing that class. You know what I
Euro.
mean? What euro? No, 100,000 Jamaican dollars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it do the calculation
Right.
and
The
conference,
conversion.
and that was just for 1 hour. You understand? So yeah, people shouldn't put down people. If you see people that have children that have the potential, drive them to go do it. Don't stop bringing negativity and saying, "Oh, you can't do that, you can't sing, you can't do that." No. You know, my little children, I see when I walk, I see them hear music and I dance. I say, yeah, I dance with them. I say, yeah, I see she like follow me. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, and she's never done a dance class
Just
before, you know, so I mean,
natural.
have it naturally, yeah. So me get goosebumps there. It goes with the parents. The parents need to stop putting on their child and start realizing what they love to do and what you see them have a little talent in and help them to advance on that talent. Because
Mhm.
their children, they don't know that, oh, they can, if they can play football, they don't know that they can go learn professional football. The parents have to help them. You understand? So parents need to look out more for that and encourage them to do that. That don't mean that it's going to be their full career, but they can do it on the side. So maybe you
Mhm.
can do a 9 to 5, but in the afternoons you go do a skit in the afternoons, and that can be extra money. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah, man,
Especially in the social media atmosphere.
right, and things are changing. So probably then, remember them used to plait, do some do the plaits in our ear, and look how natural ear can look nice and curly and just, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just how you look
Right.
on things. Yeah,
Less people trying to perm their hair because I can't tell you when last I put chemicals in my hair. I keep it
me too.
natural.
Exactly,
And we were
exactly.
taught at some point like it too thick, it too this, it better if
Big,
you press it out
yeah.
or cream it. And
Yes,
look where we are
it
in the world
definitely
now.
comes from, it's still mental slavery. I
Mm-hmm.
realized. So guess what? They could have put me in a box, you know. Society could have put me in a box and say, I dance that girl. Like, no, 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 no. I had to prove myself. I had to block out the noise and prove myself. At first I didn't know what I want to achieve, you know. But I realized my potential, and each time I do a video or so, I realize people start gravitating to me and say, whoa, your body, your style different to your thing. You know, so that motivated me for just go through same way and just keep God close and and try to keep a good heart and stay humble. And I realize things just unfold. And then that's how I realized that it's not man control me, it's God. You understand?
Right.
So I put my trust in our God and do what I need to do, what I can do to the best of my ability and prove it to people. I remember one more thing, I was performing on like in Halfway Tree, we're doing like a promotion in Halfway Tree, and there was a little stage. I'm gonna go on and I dance good enough with him. And then I said, come off, no, like it was a little company. I just said, no, she a professional, the other girl win. So me I say, when I get Jamaican people, through me a professional, I'ma do good, but still not for win. So you know what that
Right.
could have done to me? That could have made me stop dancing, you know, like me I say, like I feel like I make it, I reach somewhere already, so I forget other people next chance. I could have choose to do that, you know, because I felt that at the time. But me I said, no, what me I do? Me not finish yet. Me not choreograph for Rihanna yet. Me not depend certain things yet.
Right.
Me not stop. But yeah, I had to really, you really have to have a strong mind in this society. So it's really limit you from doing
Break you
what you can
down.
do. Yes, it can. It can.
Listen, where do you see yourself? Let's say the pandemic is over, and we're back to normal, whatever our new normal is going to be. What are
Mm-hmm.
your plans moving forward as Kimiko Versatile? What's next for you?
As Kimiko Versatile, I definitely want to instill some more business. Have some more business. And like I told you, my spa, mixing the spa with the dancing, that whole wellness vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I always dream of choreographing and dancing for Rihanna, you know. I not give up on a dream, you know. I could have been 50.
Mm-hmm.
I want to choreograph and dance for Rihanna. But not only that, I think I'm going on a spiritual venture. Um, yeah, man, God is calling me. So It's like I'm not a person that's gonna jump and say, "Oh, I'm a Christian." I think you have to like start training yourself to do things differently. So
Mhm.
I'm feeling that, and I don't know. I really can't tell you what that is going to bring, but I
Yeah.
know when you're getting closer to God, you have to buckle up and turn and change certain things. And I know I would have to change like the way I dance, meaning I can't dance for like bad man country again, or you can't really
Mhm.
shake up your ass and I'm a Christian girl like us. So not that I care about what society says, but for God, I know I have to change some stuff for God. I'm not far from being righteous. I am a righteous being, but I know, and I'm getting a calling, and I really don't know what that is gonna bring forth.
Mhm.
I know that I encourage people. I don't like to I'm not a person who loves to talk, but I will if it comes to the point, I will encourage people and help people and spread love as much as I can. So I know there's a change coming where that is where spirituality is concerned. But definitely I love acting as well. So if there's any potential where I can get like be in a movie or so, I'm looking forward to that now. But like with the pandemic, we have to bring back the pandemic, things are a bit cloudy. But
Yeah.
I'm not giving up. I'm still working, doing the work. Persons are seeing my work just the same and are booking me for choreography to do choreography. Steph London did that challenge, Snipes challenge, where the winner will get a chance to come to go to Cologne in Germany and do a professional photo shoot, a professional video, and perform with her on her next show. So I
Mhm.
entered that. So any opportunity that I see comes up, I will go for it because you may never know
Right.
what can
What
do.
will come from
Other
it?
than that, yes, persons want me to come and teach to tour again. So I know when the world open up and if me not have to take the vaccine, then I will go and tour and teach and do what I do best.
Well,
Yeah.
the possibilities are endless.
Me and my mom is working on an Airbnb now.
Oh
So we
yeah.
bought a house. Yeah, we bought a house in St. Anne. This is where I'm at now in Runaway Bay.
Mhm.
And we're building an Airbnb. So, like I said, just trying to create other businesses that can help to sustain us if I'm not able to dance or so anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Well, wow, perfect. Too many times we wait until we can't do anything at all. That's when the ideas start popping up. But I believe the pandemic put us in a situation where we have to just start thinking and start being creative and know that listen, things can change at any time.
Definitely, definitely. Yes.
So
If it never teach you nothing else,
it
taught me
te-
that for sure.
right.
And learning how to be more self-sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, then for Corona for leave, but there's the
Oh,
good
but
and
God.
there's the bad.
Yes, yes.
Well, Kim, I want to thank you for spending time with us today. I mean,
Thank you.
talking to you, there's so many different things I can ask you because you have been so young and you've still done so many things in life. So even if
Yes.
there's a part two, I hope you're up for it. We can sit
I'm
and we
up
can
for it.
talk again.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. So thank you so much and we'll talk.
Yes, and thank you for having me.
Now that you guys have watched another conversation from the Debbion Newman project, it's time for you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Catch you on the next episode.